Hey Lash fam, it's Lauren here.
Have you ever felt like something you love was slowly hurting you? That was me as a lash artist. I was passionate about my work, but what no one tells you is how tough it can be on your body, mentally and physically. For me, it wasn't just burnout. It wasn't just the frustration of learning a new skill. My health was at stake. I developed a severe allergy to lash adhesive, and suddenly everything I'd built felt like it was slipping away. I was terrified of losing the one thing that I thought that I had built up to that point. But what if I told you that hitting rock bottom was the best thing that ever happened to me? Who would have known? This is the story of how I discovered UV lashes and how I've been faced head on with my biggest fears and how it actually saved my career and maybe even myself. I remember it like it was yesterday. My clients loved my work, but behind the scenes, I was struggling. Every time I worked with lash adhesive, I'd start watering, I couldn't breathe, I'd start coughing, I felt like my throat was swelling up, and I did not want to admit it at first, but I just thought to myself, maybe I'm sick. Maybe I developed allergies. I don't know. I had moved, so I was making up all kinds of things in my head about how it could be that I suddenly had like a dust allergy in my new place, or I don't know. But it got to the point to where I could not deny it anymore. My health was deteriorating, it seemed moment by moment, and I really felt trapped in my career. And I asked myself, how do you give up a career that you've poured your heart into? My first business, the first thing that I started with my money, with my bare hands. And so thinking like that really made me start to spiral, and I would ask myself, what would people say if I had to quit? Would they think that my business failed? Would I think that my business failed? It wasn't just like the physical effects, but it was really creating a lot of mental weight that was really hard for me to carry at the time. I definitely, now looking back, could see that I had a fear of being seen as weak, a fear of stepping back, a fear of ridicule. I was kind of paralyzed, and I didn't want to become the lash artist who couldn't hack it. And deep down, I knew that something had to change. But during one of those low moments, I came across a post about UV light cured lashes, and at first I ignored it. The ads were pretty addy, if you know what I mean. I thought it sounded too good to be true. They said, oh, no fumes. Oh, it's faster. Oh, it's safer. Oh, your clients that are sensitive can now get lashes. And I was kind of skeptical, and I did think to myself, like, this has to be a marketing tactic. But the more I was reading about it, the more curious I did get. And I kept asking myself, could this be the thing that would keep me doing what I love? So I decided to take a chance. I think at like 11 p.m. one night, I'm on the Lash Apothecary website, and I'm going back and forth between Beamlight, Lash Apothecary. I'm YouTubing. There was nothing. There was like basically only the sites you could buy it from. So I just went for it. Literally, I just, like I said, 11 p.m. bought it off the Lash Apothecary website. So I already had a model set lined up. An old coworker of mine was going to come and do a model set anyways. This was pretty early in my lashing, so I was taking models all the time to build up my portfolio. And when I tell you that when she came and got her lashes done, that first set felt like magic, I am not exaggerating. I instantly could tell the difference. I mean, there were no like smell of fumes when I opened up the adhesive. There was no irritation in my eyes. Her eyes weren't watering. And I could feel like that little bit of joy like percolating up. It was like I honestly had a moment where I was like, wow, I feel like God's giving me a second chance to do what I love. But I knew that this time I had to do it in a way that felt sustainable and a way that was going to be really aligned with everything I had built up to that point and with like being a trailblazer and embracing a technology that no one else in my area had embraced. But here's the thing. It wasn't really just about switching to a new technique. It was really more of a journey for me of facing my fears head on. One of the biggest fears that I had that I did not realize was a fear of actually being seen. I put in the order and I'm waiting and I'm looking up anything I can find on the internet about it. And I'm doing all these mental gymnastics about how it could go wrong, how it could go right. I was actually so scared of putting myself out there. I was actually terrified of saying, hey, I'm doing something different. What if people didn't take me seriously? What if they thought I was just chasing a trend? What if people ridiculed me? I felt like I would die. Oh my gosh, it was so real. And I was in a lot of Facebook groups, and in those groups, lash artists can be opinionated, to say the least. But as I went in my journey, what I realized is their opinions do not matter as much as my health, my happiness, and my ability to show up for myself. So once I embraced that mindset and I really leaned into that energy, everything changed in my business. I started sharing my story. I started openly talking about challenges that I faced. I openly was educating on the light. And not surprisingly, honestly, people connected to it. And, I still experience that fear of being seen. Now it's become something that's inspired me to become even more visible. So that's really when I decided to make a YouTube channel and start a podcast and really step into my role of being an educator. That's really when along this kind of in the background, I had started doing a lot of mindset work and I really started to learn a lot about the energetics of business. And this is where I'm kind of going to get a little bit woo, but I promise you, I love to approach the woo in a very logical and a very practical way. So it's really just everything is not about what you're doing. It's the energy that you're bringing to it. And I've always felt that way, but when I really focused my intention on shifting fear into confidence, that's really when I feel like things blossomed and I became fully booked within 6 months of offering the service and have been booked out with a waiting list ever since. So it's been an experience that I really can't emphasize the serendipity of, but also it's why I'm so passionate. So UV lashes didn't just save my career. They really transformed my career and my health improved. I noticed that I was a lot more creative. It really sparked that beginner's mindset again. My creativity seems like it blossomed and kind of came back. And I really felt like I was offering a service that really embodied how I view myself and how I viewed the path for my business. And I really had something unique to offer, which was really important for me. Now, I teach other lash artists how to embrace this technique, not just for the clients, but for themselves, because I feel that our businesses are an extension of us. And when we pour love and intention into our businesses, that's when they really thrive. And I just want you to know, if you're struggling with fears, whether it's about trying something new, whether you're afraid of being seen, whether you're afraid of stepping into your full potential. I want you to know that you are not alone. I've been there. Probably majority of lash artists out there have been there, and you can overcome it. The only difference between the ones that succeed and the ones that don't are that the ones that succeed keep going. So remember that. If my story resonates with you, I would love you to join me on this journey. I've put together a free guide for lash artists that are curious about UV lashes, and it's packed with a bunch of tips and tricks that will get you started doing UV light cured lashes. And you can find the link to that in the description, or you can sign up for my newsletter to get even more insights, UV lash education, mindset tips, strategies to grow your business in a way that feels good. And hey, if you face challenges in your lash career, drop a comment below and share your story with me. I really want this to become a community where we can support each other, because none of us are doing this alone. I know that this industry can sometimes feel like you're a one-man show, and in a sense you are, but it's up to us to build a community, and I'm here to build one for UV light cured lashes exclusively. So thank you so much for being here and letting me share this piece of my journey with you. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who might need a little bit of lash inspiration. And hey, if you're ready to learn more about UV light cured lashes, or if you just want to connect with somebody who get it, sign up for my newsletter below. Remember, your journey is yours, and no one can tell your story like you can. Until next time, keep shining, and I will see you soon.